Hello viewers, welcome back to Elombah TV, and as usual, this is your girl Lydia, Oduada, and we do this every time. We tell you things that happens. Remember, Elombah TV is all about giving voice to the voiceless and of course giving you the global Nigeria's perspective. And today we have our guest, Augustine Ike, right here. He will be talking to Augustine and he will be giving us his life, his goals, his aspirations. That's all we want to know from him today. But before we dive into Augustine Ike, how have you been?
I'm doing great.
It's good to know you're doing great, and you really did look great. Welcome. Okay, so tell us about yourself. We've been waiting. We want to know you.
Well, there's not much to know about me. I am Sir Augustine Ike. I am a member of the ancient and noble order of the St. John's International. Knights of St. John's International, KSJI. Okay, I'm from Ikedoji. Ikedoji is in Uruagu, Nnewi. Nnewi is in the Nnewi North local government area of Anambra State.
That's good to know. And from what we see, we have a very vibrant young man, and you might also want to tell us a little bit about your school and how you came this far in life.
Well, on academics, actually, I went to St. Charles Borromeo Minor Seminary, Kafanchan.
Okay.
And then from there on, of course, I first went to Anglican Junior Seminary as a primary school. From there on, I moved to St. Charles Borromeo Minor Seminary, Kafanchan in Kaduna State. And then later on, I came up to the higher phase of John Paul, where I obtained my Bachelor's of Philosophy with the Urbaniana Pontifical University, Roma. It is called Pontifical Urban University, Rome. And then before then, though, I went for a diploma course in computer with an affiliate of Nassarawa State Polytechnic, New Frontiers, where I obtained a diploma in computer. And then, of course, I also took a diploma course in Latin language, diploma in Latin language. And then I now obtained the Bachelor's of Philosophy from Urban University, Rome. Then subsequently, I obtained the Bachelor's of Arts from Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka. And I enrolled in distance learning, Chinua Achebe Institute of Journalism, called Don Scotus, where I obtained Bachelor's of Science in Mass Communication. And then I did my Master's of Arts within Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka also. And then just last year, I enrolled to study law.
Wow.
Which I just put it on a little hold for a superior reason.
Okay, a superior reason. Would you want to tell us about the superior reason of yours that made you put a hold on your law degree pursuit?
No, I am now meant to lecture in the same institution, and there is an academic law. If you are to lecture in a school, you cannot be studying a different course.
That's students in the same school.
And a student at the same time. So I'm going to move the
A
law
student at
to
the same
another
time.
school. Yeah, I'm going to move the law to another institution. Yeah.
Wow, so we have a lecturer right here with us. That's interesting. Welcome. And I hope you would also lecture me. All right, so let's go some more. Talking about goals, discussion today is about your life, your goals, and your aspirations. What are your goals?
Sorry?
This discussion is about your life, your goals, and your aspirations. So would you mind telling us about your goals? What are those goals of yours? Your goals, yes.
Okay. Actually, as a young man, the truth is that I was initially trained to be a Catholic priest.
Oh, really?
Yes. I was initially, from childhood, my training is such that I'm expected to end up as a Catholic priest. Okay? Which, if I had followed, I would have been like 6-7 years a Catholic priest now. But when I got into the seminary, for one reason or the other, I thought I could be a better medical doctor. As a young man growing up, yeah, I thought I could be a better medical doctor. So when others, after our junior seminary, when others were struggling to enter another phase of the seminary, I took JAMB.
Okay.
I took JAMB and I put medicine in the University, okay? But fortunately, unfortunately, then it was not too centered on excellence. We were required to pay 500,000 naira if you want to study medicine.
Wow.
Okay, so people like me, I know by then I couldn't afford it. So I have to do a swift move. You know, I have to do a swift move. I said, no, I'm not, if it is not medicine, I'm not interested in any other thing. Let me go back to arts. Let me go back to arts and then let me study philosophy. And then I actually chose philosophy. I chose to study philosophy and I went back to the seminary today. I chose to study philosophy because I've always admired the work of great philosophers. I wanted to also be one of the great philosophers. You quoted.
All right, so let's look at
study philosophy and law. Okay, but when I wanted to study philosophy, it's not just about philosophy. I wanted to study political philosophy because I looked at myself. I said, okay, fine. I'm going to be of service to the people and I'm going to go into the political scene just with one sentence to make a difference. Yeah, so I want to be a politician, but I don't want to be, somebody might want to be a politician because he wants to acquire wealth. Another may want to be a politician because he wants to be famous. Some people want to, for different reasons, but I believe, I see it, there is one caveat that goes with the Pope. Serva Servorum Dei, servant of the servants of God. Okay? But I see it that I have to be available for service, servants of the servants of people, and then I believe that injustice must be uprooted in the society. That is why sometimes when you are doing something is not straight, then you might have to misunderstand me because I'm not going to flow with you. There is no way I'm going to flow with you. I will try to get it straight because I believe why we don't get it right at the top is because of the little what we overlook, little things that we overlook at the elementary stage. They culminate to become difficult things. Okay, so I believe that when you are given a little task, you carry it on to the ladder. That is the only way to make a difference. Okay, and I'm so much motivated by a philosopher called Martin Heidegger. And Martin Heidegger philosophy is centered on what we call authentic existence, authenticity of being. Okay, what Heidegger is trying to talk about is that you and I, nobody consulted us to be in the world. It is called callingness. Like nobody asks you, Lydia, do you want to come here or do you not want to come here? If you want to come here, I know that if some of us were asked, do you want to come to the world? Yes, a lot of us may like to come, but they would not like to be Nigerians. Okay? So nobody consulted you and you see yourself here. So when Heidegger said that when you saw yourself here, the only thing you are facing is death. Okay, that's what Heidegger believed. Then authentic existence for him is facticity. When you are living your life, don't be seeing evil as if it is meant for others and not for you. Like when you see a dead man, you say, okay, people are dying. You will not remind yourself that you are going to die. You have to tell yourself, I will die. If we have that lecture to ourselves that we will die and we are conscious of death, we will live a better life daily. What we call a better life is not a life of amassing wealth, but a life you live to better other people's life. That is why sometimes when you see me always attracted to people that are open to public service, okay? Are you with me?
Yes, very much.
Okay, good. You see me attracted to people that are open to, if they say that this person helps people a lot, I am bound by conscience to be friendly to him, irrespective of other flaws you see in him. because I see it as a greater calling. I see it as what I would like to do. I would like to be in position to help people as
Okay.
many as possible as I can do it.
You like to be in a position to help people, but first, let me ask this question.
Okay.
Considering the way Nigeria is today, are you happy being a Nigerian?
You will be amazed that I'm not just happy being a Nigerian. I'm happy being an Nnewi man.
Okay. Okay, we're taking it a little bit further. You are happy being an Nnewi one, and from your
Yes. Like I
educational
was
background,
born.
you've mentioned that you did study political philosophy. That means you
Yes.
have the idea of wanting to be a politician from the very beginning. So now
Yes.
I want to ask, you want to be a politician, but at some point you went to study, you wanted to study medicine. What happened? How did you blend? Because I know that if you have to do medicine, you would need physics, chemistry, and biology compulsory, and then you would also need the arts family, which is Bible knowledge, which is CRS, and the government and literature and all of that. So, how did you marry both?
Well, when I was in secondary school, I was a science student. In fact, when you go to STAN record, Science Teachers Association of Nigerian record, you will see my name as one of the best physics students because I went to STAN quiz for physics and I came, I think, third. Okay, you see
Yeah.
my name in their record there. I was a pure science student. Okay, so but when I was doing the science courses, when I was picking my science courses, I also wrote things like economics, and
Okay.
that will give me a window to navigate.
Okay.
Okay, and so I wrote something like economics. I took economics. Okay, that will give me a window to navigate. So having taken economics, it gave me window to navigate. So when I found it, the medicine, you must also understand in cognitive psychology, developmental psychology, that stage when a child is, when you are in secondary school, naturally you bring a sample of secondary school students and then you ask them, what do you want to become? You will notice that they will predominantly be saying doctors, lawyers, doctors, lawyers, doctors, lawyers, and few engineers. No, you will rarely see somebody in secondary school that tells you, I want to study philosophy. Okay? Yeah,
All
so,
right.
but those things are things that while you grow, when life is molding you, you reposition yourself to be whom you want every day. It's a kind of self-realization and rediscovery.
Okay, self-realization and rediscovery. So before you start realizing this political part of you, what jobs were you doing before that time? Before this time?
Sorry?
Before you started discovering this political part of you, what jobs were you doing?
Okay, I told you that initially I was being trained to be a Catholic priest, right? You got that line?
Yeah, that's correct.
Good. So as a young graduate, I was purely into journalism. Because even in my final year, I was already the editor-in-chief of Pro-Life magazine. So immediately I left, I moved into the Catholic Diocese of Nnewi, Okuani, where I became the editor of their diocesan bulletin and the proofreader of their newspaper. Okay? And I was also reporting in the newspaper. So I was predominantly into that field before I now have to move and become a personal assistant to somebody contesting for House of Reps. And from that point of being a personal assistant to somebody contesting for House of Reps, I have remained into politics consistently.
Okay. And
Yeah, in fact, before now, I have vied for, I picked a form for chairmanship, Nnewi North Local Government.
okay.
Okay, I picked a form for chairmanship, Nnewi North Local Government in 2013 when P2B wanted to do local government election. And then I was made the vice. Then from being the vice, we discovered, because there are certain things you must see in Anambra politics. The chairmanship candidate and the vice, we are both Catholics. So a lot of people were having issue with two Catholics. Okay, so this being the vice, and I'm also a Catholic, I have to step out for an Anglican. As you will not understand these things, but those that are here understand it, okay? And then wait for some other compensation, okay?
Okay. And
So,
what are the other
predominantly, I have
compensations?
been into journalism, predominantly.
Okay. So you said waiting for other compensation. What form of compensations are we looking at?
No, I was to, if it had worked out, I had intention to be the local government secretary.
Okay.
Okay, but
now,
the election didn't hold at the end of the day anyway.
All right. So I read somewhere recently you declared your interest going for governorship position in Anambra State. Is that correct?
Good, good.
Okay. So, you have gone for deputy, and at some point you did step aside for some reasons, being that two Catholics can be at the top at the same time. What do you think right now going for governorship election? Do you think that seriously you're going to hit it hard and get it?
Well, there is one philosophy of life I hold, okay? I don't believe anything is impossible, okay?
Yeah.
I dare anything I see on my way, because poverty is the absence of ideas, okay? And then there is a philosopher called Protagoras. He said that man is the measure of all things. Man is the measure of all things. Of those things you say they are, they are. Of those things you say they are not, they are not. And whatever you can conceive of, you can become. That is the philosophy behind it. If you sit down, and as you are sitting down there, if you can think of yourself as the first lady of the United States of America, you can become that. It's about the ideas, okay? There's what we call impression and ideas. When something makes an impression on you, you build an idea on how to get there. Now, why I declared for the governorship was very simple. I took a simple equation. Should I give it to you?
Yes, we want to know.
Good, simple equation. This is a simple equation. That to be a governor, of course, I'm qualified by every criteria. If you check INEC, this thing, I'm qualified. Because the day one of our stakeholders called me, why did you declare for governorship? I told him personally that, sorry, I lost power. Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you.
Can you see me?
We can
Hello?
see you. Yes, we can see you.
Okay. So when he asked me why did I declare for governorship, I told him I took a simple calculation. What is the simple calculation? Okay, that for you to be a governor of Anambra State, let's assume that the buying of votes is legitimate. Okay, which is not. That for each vote, you spend 3,000 naira to buy a vote. Then for 180,000 votes, you are spending over 5 billion naira. You've not budgeted for INEC, you've not budgeted for police as it is on the street, I'm telling you. You've not budgeted for your canvassers. Your campaign fund is not involved. Buying of vehicles is not involved. Drinks are not involved. Okay? Taking a tour to 320 something watts in Anambra is not involved. So by the time you narrow it down, it is going to cost you a minimum of 15 billion naira to be a governor of Anambra State. A minimum of 15 billion naira. And if it's going to cost you a minimum of 15 billion naira, all these people declaring for the governorship seat, I am not in anybody's pocket, but I'm very, very convinced that none of them will such amount. And even if you have it, you are not going to take it and dash it out there on the street, and then so that people will vote for you. So there must be an idea they are banking on. Okay? So what do I need to do? I need to strategize. Predominantly, these voters are my contemporaries within my age brackets. Okay? Most of the voters fall within the age of 18 and 40 years. Active ones. Okay? And then women. Okay? Active voters fall within the age of 18 and 40 years. And then, of course, you know that life expectancy in this part of the world is about 50, 55. Okay? That is our own life expectancy here because of disease and other things. Because of the poor health sector we have. So if I have bulk voters between 18 and 40 years, they are my contemporaries, and I can easily convince them to vote me without spending much. What do I need to do? I need to bring out those things I felt I can do. Because I told one of the aspirants before me. I told you with due respect, sir. I have looked at every criteria. I am more qualified than you. I am more bold than you are. I am more intelligent than you are. And I think I have better plans than you are. I think the only thing you have over me is finances, okay? And then I wanted also, what I declared is to tell the youths that stop saying each time you carry placard, you be saying youth emancipation, youth empowerment, youth. Nobody is stopping you. My declaration taught me something. Do you know what it taught me?
Okay.
That the old ones want us to come out. Most of these old ones are supporting me. Against my wish, most of the old ones now came out. When I say old ones, I mean those above 65.
Wow.
They keep cheering me up. Hey, move it, you can do it, stand, you can come and take
Okay, with this support you have, with this support you have from the old ones, like you say, do you feel so confident, like, I've gotten this thing, like, no two ways about it, I've gotten it?
Let me scandalize you. Somebody called me from Ogun State. Okay. After I declared, somebody called me from Ogun State. And are you so person? I said yes. He said, wow, that he is so much impressed. I don't know him, I've not met him before. Do you know what he did? He volunteered that he's going to buy a form for me.
Wow.
Yeah, that he's going to pick the form for me, no matter the cost. That he's going to pick the form for me. This is support coming. And it is because I came out to say I can do it. And he's impressed. As I guess, I chose not to go and carry placard and be following the person that won. Okay, empower me, youth, empower me. Then you are asking somebody to empower me when I'm above 35. I'm above 35. Ojukwu governed these states at the age of 33. Go on and IBB, some of them at the age of 29. The sitting president of Nigeria now, Buhari, before he was 25, he was already holding a very strong political office. Okay? These people, nobody told them to come out. Nobody told Ojukwu. Even his father didn't tell him come out. He said he believed he can do it, and he came out and he chose his path. So the problem that the youth within my time, my contemporaries have, is that they have been resumed to consumers. It is a reductionist approach. They have been reduced to consumers, and then they have imbibed the consumer mentality of give me. It is them, and that this thing is reserved for these people. It belongs to them, and then give me. So that idea of give me, it's an annoyance to me. I believe I can do this thing, and when I come out, and the only thing I need to win is only one thing. Do you know what it is?
Tell us.
What I need to win is for you, seated there now, to say, you, as a person, I need only one vote. I'll vote for Ikedoji. And when you say you say really? I will vote, another you say I will vote, I have won.
Okay, all right, we do hope that you win eventually. But in your speech, there is some where you said that you're ready to go for the task ahead. What's the task ahead? Is it a task that you set for yourself, or the task that the state has waiting and has been lying with nobody to attend to it?
Sorry?
You said you are coming out to contest for the task ahead. What is this task? Is it a task you set for yourself, or the one that the state has, but nobody has attended to it?
There is something you will know about governance. It's not peculiar to Anambra State, okay? We don't have a plan, okay? We don't have a plan. We don't have a blueprint. When I came out, for some time, I formed a campaign team. We kept drawing, okay, an imaginary plan. We don't have a plan. You cannot call anybody governing this state now, and as I'm seated now, somebody called me today, and that the road in my community, when are they going to walk it, I don't know. But when you have people like us, when we plan this state, you can easily, if there is a road, for example, road is not one of the things you plan as a government. It is a fundamental right of people to have good road and water and electricity. But what I'm trying to say is that if I have a road project to do in the next 3 years, you will see that this road will commence in 2023 on November 8th. Okay? You will be in 2021, you will see this road, that's what we call blueprints. Okay? This is this sector. This is agriculture sector. We see that agriculture sector or Anambra State University will be employing 600 people December next year. As of January this year, you already know it's happening December next year. That's what we call blueprint. That's what we call tax duty for duty's sake, not because you want to benefit anything, because you benefit more when you give out. Even as a governor, when you stop acquiring and start giving out, you benefit more. When you start working for the people, watch the governor of Ebonyi State. He will never be poor in his life. He is doing a good job. He will benefit more. Posterity will remember him. Everybody will remember him. It is about setting a standard. Okay? We need to set a new standard. Now, whether I win or not, I've already won.
Wow.
Whether I win or not, I've already won. Do you know why? Because next election, somebody of my contemporary will come out, another person will be engineered, and when we keep trying it, before you know it, these people will have to give us the stage. Okay, please, you people should come and take the steering. Let's see what you can do. So it is a win-win for me. Whether I win or not, I have won. If I won, I have won. If I lost, I have won.
This is like saying you're setting the pace for others to come forward. Like you've decided to be the pioneer as a young governor, like the bill once passed, not too young to run. So you're stepping forward to say, I am young, but I can do it. So when you step out, others will feel, since he came out as a young person, then we too can come out and do it. That's a good one. Thank you so much for that. All right. So you did mention in the course of our interaction that the poor life expectancy has to do with medical sector. Can you enlighten us some more on that?
Sorry?
Poor life or low life expectancy has to do with the medical sector. How
yes.
so?
I said that we have the life expectancy in this part of the world is low. It's not peculiar to any region, but in this part of the world.
Yeah.
And then, why is it like that? It's because we have poor medical sector. Not poor medical doctors. Please don't conflict the two. Okay? We have poor medical facilities. Because I don't want to accept we have poor medical doctors. That is in intellectual level, but we have poor medical facilities, and you saw it playing out during the pandemic. All these men that refused to work to bring up medical facilities here ended up traveling abroad. Okay, now let's take a case study. Let me be more pragmatic. Okay, I'm a philosopher. I believe in giving an example. I have Nnamdi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital here. Okay, Nnamdi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital, Nnewi, is a federal institution. You cannot even do a simple viral load test there. They don't have machine for viral load tests. A lot of testing machines, they don't have it. So when you go there, you keep seeing referral. They are referred just to go and run tests. And these machines, I want to believe that our doctors friend here can operate it. It's just that the government refused to provide it. Okay, we needed isolation centers. Nnamdi Azikiwe, if not for the intervention of Senator Dr. Patrick Ifanyoba, what we had in Nnewi at an isolation center was 2-bedroom and 1 self-contained room. 2-bedroom, 1 self-contained, and a small hall. And that is the Nnamdi Azikiwe happened to be the only accredited institution to treat COVID-19, and that is the only thing we have. Until he built that one we have in Nnewi there, and then put up some, and just give you an example. Now he has put up medical facilities. If we have strong medical facilities like that, and then the medical facilities, the doctors are not able to run it, I cannot come out and say we have bad doctors. But for now, we have good doctors. They are not giving good medical facilities to work. Okay? So we must do so much. We must do so much to activate our medical sector first. The medical sector is a very sensitive aspect of every society. That is why if you go to countries like Italy, you will see that the medicals there is free for all citizens. Globally, wherever they are entitled to free medical treatment. Most of our people here are sick. They don't want to go to teaching hospital. Because when you get there, the kind of bill you will get, you will wonder whether you went to a federal institution. Maybe to pass the night on their bed, they will say 5,000 naira. What for? It's a federal institution. The federal government pays your salary. The federal government maintains there. What the heck are people paying for?
Wow. Okay, so
now,
considering that
this is why people will have to hold disease onto their body until it starts biting them. When you start biting deep, when the person is down, then they'll start calling for funds, looking for them. At the end of the day, you'll be flying a dead man to India and be expecting them to work miracles. Diseases are everywhere in the world. The difference between here and London is that when one is living in London and he contacts a disease, he discovers it within the first of 2 months. But when one is living in Nnewi and contacts a disease, he may not know when he has lived with it for 5 years. Okay? And then what is pushing him away from knowing? It is the cost of medical services.
Wow, I see you're so,
the life expectancy here is very low.
It's very low. You're so enthusiastic about the medical sector, but let me ask quickly, if you were given the opportunity to be the governor of Anambra State, what will be your priority?
Of course, you see, human capital development. Okay, unfortunately, I may not go to prioritize any sector per se, but I'm going to make sure that the most functional hospital, one of my uncles now, he wanted to build a hospital. I said, build a kidney hospital and look for partnership. He's building a kidney hospital today in Nnewi. Within the next 6 months, we have a kidney hospital. Okay? One thing about hospital, and what you need is private-public partnership, okay? PPP, okay? When you get it, it can activate all specialist hospitals. But as a governor, there is a sector we have so much ignored. What is that sector? There's academics. Not just academics by education, but when one is educated, how best to put him in the society? Do you understand what I mean? So I said, I am going to center on human capital development. Example, when you have a son in secondary school, and I'm the governor of Anambra State, I will guarantee you that after secondary school, you may not need to invest again on your child for him to finish higher institution. Because I'm going to put in one vocational training as part of secondary school, and then of course, guidance and counseling must be returned to the school. Because these people must find their path on time. Okay, if you want to be a crafts person, I'm expecting you that once you are finishing your WAEC, within that period you are writing your WAEC and the 1 year you will stay at home, you move into vocational institution designed by the state that will prepare you so that when you get into higher institution, if you are doing it, you are doing something. And then once you are graduating, the state must be so prepared to absorb into one thing or the other. Let me tell you something. Do you know that 70% of the crimes we have now in Anambra State, do you know those committing it? Secondary school dropout. Before now, I used to hear university dropout, but now we now have secondary school dropout. What is secondary school dropout? One finishes secondary school, he didn't make it in WAEC, or he has no money to continue. Then, you know the only thing he's going to resort to, you go and join cults. Now we have cults everywhere. Cults, people are joining cults. Then you see him, he's walking like this. What is it that is a cultist? Being a cultist, is that supposed to be a job? And I want to tell you, if he was meaningfully engaged as a youth, when I finished secondary school, I owned Dolinks Computers. Dolinks Computers is one of the biggest computer maintaining sector. I fix computer, I do local area networking. I trained myself in the university. Wow. I trained myself all my life. The last penny my parents, my late dad spent on my head was my WAEC. I may be counting 4 degrees. And then you think anybody paid? Nobody paid for anything. Whatever degree I'm showing you now, I paid for it myself. Self-education. I trained myself. But why was I able to do it with it? It's because I can repair computers. Okay. And I had so much market. A lot of people are waiting for me to come and repair their computer. So because I can fix bad computers, it's a big job for me. And it gave me the opportunity to keep schooling. I didn't finish it because I had something doing. So I now have it as an experience that once you get somebody something doing that fetches the person money, the person will not only become serious, he will not only be focused, but he will be more focused in life. And once you start earning, you spend less. Once you start earning, you become more disciplined. Okay? So that's why I'm trying to tell you that the sector that I must hit first is human capital development. I must make sure that this state, if it is in London that you people have the best surgery school, I will make sure that the state government within my first year in office send up to 50 Anambrarians there on state scholarship. Wow. You send them so that in the next 3-4 years, you have a lot of manpower coming into the state. When you have over 200 professionals trained by the state coming into the state to come and work, you have created more than 10,000 jobs. Because each of them is, you have created more than 100 jobs in each of them when they start practicing.
Wow.
So this
we
is
do
the
hope that
problem
you
when
get
invest
all of
money.
this.
You invest in people. You don't invest in structures that will end up dilapidating. You took the state money, you are running to go and build a hotel for who?
Wow. Interesting, people, and we can see that he's all lighted up and ready to give to us all that we can ask for. If you just joined us, whether on Facebook or YouTube, you're listening to Elombah TV, giving voice to the voiceless, and our news we tell you so that you can see the globe in Nigeria's perspective. And today we have been talking to Augustine Ike, and he is, of course, one aspirant for the next election of governorship in Anambra State, and we've been looking at his life, his goal, and his aspiration. He has told us so far that he wants to invest in human capital. That is, if he becomes the governor of Anambra State. And we're still going. Do not forget that you can send in your questions also. You've got questions for him, drop it in the comment section. You drop your questions and it will be read. So far we have a lot of questions dropping already. Hope you're ready for the coming questions. You're not freaking out, right? Okay, good. Let's take the first from our viewers. This one says, are you contesting for another compensatory position or you will stand till the end?
Sorry?
Are you contesting for another compensatory position or you will stand till the end?
Okay, wow. That question has kept reoccurring, okay? In fact, after I declared, a lot of people sat on their armchair and then they were pointing at those that asked me to declare. Like, they believe somebody asked me to come and run. But why I refuse to respond to that is that I'm a philosopher, I view things differently. I believe that if, assuming the person is correct, that means I must have watched something for somebody to ask me to come and run. It's a credit, okay? Because they didn't ask you to come and run. They asked me to come and run. That means I must have watched something. So I thought I shouldn't respond to that. I kept it. But I want to tell you today that I am a knight, okay? I'm the youngest knight in the whole of Southeast.
Wow.
Knight of St. John International. And nobody asked me to come and become a knight. Okay? People do not ask me to do something. I do something because I like, you watch CNN, right? They say go beyond borders. Yes. Okay? I like going beyond. I don't like you tell me that this thing I cannot do it. Then I will keep trying. Okay? When I was in SS3, my dad told me that I should finish and come and join business. That Diopara do not school. I should rush and come and continue business.
You might want to explain to our audience what Diopara is, because not everybody will understand what that is.
The first male issue in Igbo land.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. The first male issue is called Diopara. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
I like to live in the Nnewi. I like living in the Nnewi. I have opportunities to go and work other places, but I told them I'm a village man. Somebody must be in the village. Okay? So sorry about that. You may notice.
No, it's okay. It's fine.
Okay, fine. So Diopara is the first male issue. My dad told me that, hey, you are going to be a businessman. And if you're not going to be a businessman, I'm not going to train you. That was why he's not the one that trained me in school. And then today, he's not here, but my mom is thanking God I didn't agree that time. But then I was the black sheep. But today, when she looks at me, she'll be happy I didn't agree to go and be a businessman, because I will be somewhere there in the north carrying cartons of biscuits, instead of serving the public. So I do not, whatever I do, I'm convinced doing it. So when I came out that I want to run for the governor of Anambra State, I have started seeing myself as the governor before I said I'm going to run. and I believe I'm going to win. Okay? Now, but the idea of whether I'm going to run till the end, if there is any law, that prevents me from running till the end, I will respect the law if there is any law. But if there is no law that prevents me from running till the end, today I have finalized with APP, Action People's Alliance, and Action People's Party.
So
okay? Before I was discussing with Zenith Labour Party, one or two things came up, this type of thing, because they believe somebody owns Zenith Labour Party and may be running for the person. So when I discovered that, though I love Zenith Labour Party so much, I have to move away. That is the Action People's Party is the one, Ikenga is the national chairman. Okay, I joined Action People's Party. But now I'm looking at the laws before me. If there is any law that prevents me from running, I'm going to respect that law, because naturally, first thing first, if not because of certain delayed gratification, I will have preferred to be running for the governor of Anambra State as a professor. Okay? I would have preferred to run for it. If there is a law preventing me, I will come up to the public and state the law and tell them, for this reason, I am not going to continue. But if there is no law, I cannot stop running because of money, because I don't need money to run.
You don't need money to run. All right. In elections,
I won election without spending a dime. Lydia, I won election without spending a dime. Election that people were spending millions, I won it. Public Secretary of Nnewi, Nnewi. The person that contested for the chairman of Nnewi spent millions upon millions. When I came out to run, we were 7. Others were going about sharing 10,000 naira. I folded my hands. I was like, no, I'm not going to spend a dime. It's a record in this town today. I won that election without giving anybody a dime. If there is anybody that I gave money, he should come out and say it. If I gave any delegate a dime. But what did I do? I know that I can convince them, and I was able to convince them. And when they came to the hall, though they have collected money from others, they voted for me. And if I can do it in a little one, I can do it in a bigger one. If I get the stage, I can convince an umbrellas to vote for me. And I will tell you, they will collect your money and come and vote for me.
Wow, that is a huge confidence, a huge pile of confidence. All right, we have more questions, and this one says, have you researched the identity of most pressing problems facing Anambra State? And what is your solution to such challenges?
Sorry?
Okay, there's a question here that says, have you gone out to look for the problems of Anambra people? And do you know what is pinching them, what their concerns are, what their needs are? If you have, do you have solutions to these problems, or to the challenges rather?
Sure. You know, the problem with Anambra is not peculiar to India Anambra. That was why when you asked me what sector will I prioritize, I said human capital development. Okay, I believe that the potentials in Anambra, starting from commerce, okay, we have markets, major markets in Anambra State. But what do governments come there to do? Governments go to our markets to generate revenue for their pockets, instead of going to those markets to develop it. Okay, government do not put in anything into our markets. If you come into Anambra markets as a governor and you were able to invest into the market, you see on the Onitsha markets, okay, it's a slum. If you're able to invest into Onitsha market and then you are able to empower some of them that are up, the type of revenue you will generate, you'll be scared. But what the government does is that they don't invest into those markets, okay? The commerce world is moving from a limited liability company to a public limited liability company, and the government is not doing anything about it. Come to Nnewi here. There is nothing happening in Nnewi. In Nnewi, they generate power themselves. They bought a big gen, they generate power, they share among themselves, they create bills, they do all those things themselves. But governments come here to collect. This year, they are collecting the third one. They collected 2018, 2019, and they are collecting 2020 in 1 year. Okay, you come here to generate revenue. We are creating problem for the people. What and the Anambra need? We are not like other states. Do you know what we need in these states? Enabling environment. When you create enabling environment to an average Anambra man, you will see that the Anambra man is the most industrious person. He doesn't really need you to feed him from hand to mouth. Okay, now, mainly, one of the sectors that we need to really shake down in Anambra State, we need to really shake it down and open it up. Hello?
We are here.
Okay, one of the sectors we need to really shake down and open it up is the academic sector. Okay,
right.
We need to open it up. Okay, we need to get more institutions on ground, professional institutions. Okay, I'm going to produce a state, a craft state. I'm going to turn Anambra to a craft state. Okay, for global tourism. But the tourism is not going to be a tourism where you come to look at water. It's a tourism where you come to look at what people in this state are inventing. Okay, we are going to be a state of inventors. Okay, so
wow.
This is, you need to hit. There's what we call there's what we call gestures, the corpus luteumness, what we call the theme. That is when the locus. Okay, when you're able to hit at this locus, it is going to have a ripple effect on other sectors. But Anambra, as it is today, as we are having it today, it is bedeviled by a lot of challenges. Okay, and I cannot see anything the governor can do at this juncture because the debt profile is already high. Okay, so when you want to govern Anambra at this point, you must also be somebody that is economically savvy because you are having a lot of things to deal with. And not yet, know you that the fact this money we get from government has been cut down, and with the type of debt the federal government is going into, it is going to be slashed into two. Okay, at the end of the day, you may not be getting fat from the federal government. You have to run your state internally. What is your mental capacity to do it?
Wow.
Okay,
so you mentioned empowering people, and you also did mention debt. Talking about debt, how do you intend managing if you also inherit debt as a governor? How do you intend setting that problem out? And also, if you are to go into all of this, empowering the people of Anambra, you said you will invest so much in the people, human capital development you did mention. How do you intend raising funds for all of us? Did you get me?
Hello?
Are you there? I can hear you. Oh, did you get my question? Did you get my question?
Sorry, I think.
I can hear you. I can hear you and I can see you as well.
I need to end the call. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm right here. Okay. I can hear you.
When you talk about debt management, okay, when you talk about debt management in the state, you see, most of these debts, okay, the problem with this debt is that they were used for projects that cannot repay the debt. Okay, it's good to collect loan, but it is better to invest the loan in projects that can repay the loan. Do you understand what I mean? If we have collected loan and built a new ultra-modern market, okay, you can count on the market to repay the loan. Okay, but since we have collected, we have a lot of bad loans. Okay, how do you manage bad loans? One of the machineries for managing bad loans is what? To create enabling business environment and bring in investors. Okay, you have to bring in investors. That is one of the efficient tools to manage bad loans. So that when you create new wealth meeting points for the state, wealth meeting points for the state, from that wealth meeting point for the state, you will be able to run the state while servicing those debts. You know what I mean? You should create a wealth meeting point for this. The Anambra State have no, you don't, wealth meeting point is not to go and start taxing people. Okay, not to go and start taxing traders, no. you have something on ground today. Can you have Kanu cars? Have you heard of Kanu cars? Kanu State, they are doing a car plant. Kanu cars. Okay, that is a wealth meeting point for the state. Okay, you have to look for a wealth meeting point for the state while you service. To service a bad debt is a big challenge. So you must plan to run the state in such a way that you don't incur more debt. Okay, you must plan to, that's why, you know, the presidency is an intelligence. Okay, so when you become a governor, one of the things you must do is to bring in experts. You must work with economic experts. Okay, your work is to judge the things presented to you. You must be a good analyst. Okay, so that when the experts come and bring up good ideas on how best to go about this thing, you should be able to rationalize it and be able to say this one will be more efficient. But we need wide economic consultation to be able to deal with the debts. And the only thing I know is that I cannot incur extra debts. But we must consult widely experts to be able to tackle this debt. But one of the things I know that we must do for sure is to create a wealth minting point for the states.
Okay, that's awesome. Let's go further. All right, there is a suggestion that so you've got sponsors. And if this is true, who are your sponsors? Who could be your sponsors?
Sorry, I'm losing audio.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So there's a speculation that you've got sponsors, people who are sponsoring you. If that is true, who are your sponsors?
Well, you know, that's the new language in the country. I have to tweet my friend. Okay, a pressman asked him, who is bankrolling you? Who is bankrolling you? And you started playing. You know, it's an innocent question. Okay? Now, the question of who is sponsoring me is an innocent question. Okay? Before you now look for who is sponsoring me, you must first ask the question, what am I doing? Okay? What am I doing? It is when you see what I am doing, you should be able to say, oh, he is doing this already, he is doing this already, that this thing costs 100 million. Then who gave him the money? Okay? But you don't sit on armchair and say, who is sponsoring me? Because you don't have what I'm doing. What am I doing? I'm drawing map, I'm having meeting with my friends, I'm bringing up volunteers. We call volunteer force, okay? Volunteer force as a structure. A lot of people are volunteering, doing meeting on their own without taxing me. Let me scandalize you. Since I entered this contest, nobody have ever taxed me. Wow. Like nobody have ever walked up to me and say, Ikedoji, please give me 300,000 or give me 400,000. The day we declared in Seagate, we spent a lot. What we called? They built a lot of debt for me to the tune of over 200,000 naira. I wasn't bothered. The truth is that I'm not the one that paid. Somebody just paid. Another of my contemporary just paid. So far as it is, it has remained a teamwork. Okay? My friends and, well, okay, my posters was printed by my classmates. Who is a first man, okay? The posters was printed by a classmate of mine. My secondary school classmate is not even from Anambra State. Okay, I've told you about the form. Somebody from Ogun State wants to buy a form. He's not an Anambrarian. Do you understand what I mean? Okay, and now I'm having a TV interview with you. I'm not going to pay after doing it. Okay, it is still publicity.
No, okay? I think I'll have to change my mind at this point. You have to pay.
I have my blog. I'm doing the sponsorship of my blog. I don't pay anybody to be on my blog. Okay, I'm reaching out to the few people I can reach out to. Okay, but what is important is that one or two persons that are not politicians have called me. Not that INEC asked me to slow down. Okay, I slowed down because of INEC. Okay, one or two persons that are not interested in politics have called me actually to say if I have challenges, I should contact them. And as I'm talking till date, I'm yet to contact them.
Wow.
Okay, somebody have already called me. Come and take a pilot vehicle. How can you be contesting for governor and be moving the small car? Come and take a pilot vehicle. Do this, do this, do this. Somebody have called me. Want to assign police to you. I have a classmate that is a major in the army. Okay? I have another one that is heading police, whatever. I don't know their rank in police in Abuja. Okay? Some of them want to give me police to be following me. I don't want those costs for now. We are bringing a new idea. And one of the ideas I want to inject is cost management, cost efficiency. Okay? Only those things that are absolutely necessary. That is what I do now. Except if it's absolutely necessary. If it is not, if you tell me about it, I have a lot of files, okay? There are ideas, proposals, tenders. If you bring it, I will read it. I will encourage you. I will file it and keep it. It's not yet time.
Wow. Okay.
When the time comes, hello?
I can hear you. But quickly,
the time comes for sponsorship, and then, of course, some persons, for somebody to come to sponsor you, nobody has money to waste. The person must have been convinced in your ideas. Okay? The person must have been convinced in your motivations. I assure you of transparency. When such sponsors come, I will tell you.
Okay. Thank you. All right, so let's quickly look at this. There are so many people vying for the same position. Do you at any point feel these people are strong? You giving out all of your tricks and everything. Aren't you bothered about it that they might want to use what you've said to bring you down?
No, I think if an idea is not your own, you might have problem implementing it.
Okay.
I can tell you, okay, Lydia, I can tell you now, I want to write a book. I want to write a book, and the title of the book is Regeneration of Africa. So because of that, you now go and start writing Regeneration of Africa. What will be the content of your book? Okay,
that's another one.
Okay.
All right, so let's finally.
I want to do human capital development. Okay, what are the indices you will do? So you just come out and say you want to do human capital development. What are the indices on ground? It's not just to come out and say it. It's not a vocal thing. It's a pragmatic process. Okay, it is something you must nurture. If it is your own, when you meet obstacle, you should be able to
what to do and how to
it and all those things. When the idea is not your own, it's not your own.
That's correct.
But as I said, it's not a do or die affair. Okay.
All right.
If for any reason I felt that okay, because of this, I'm having a lot of challenges, I can decide to, hey, please, thank you very much. So far, let me go and be more prepared.
All right. Okay, just before we end it on the session, we just have a few minutes to call it a day on this. And the last question will be, Anambra has so many billionaires and business people and billionaire politicians as well. How do you intend to manage them?
Well, funny enough, most of them are my friends.
Whoa. Okay,
and since I declared, reasonable percent of them have called me on phone. They want to really know why I declared, okay? I know them. I didn't come out from nowhere. I've been into politics in this town. When Tony Nwoye was contesting for governor, I was the secretary of the steering committee of his campaign. I didn't just jump out from the blues. I have been in the system. Most of these people running for governor are my friends, okay? Senator Dr. Patrick Ifeanyi is my friend, a very good, close one at that.
Wow.
Okay, Chris Azubogu is a friend, a very close one at that. Where are they? George Moharu is my maternal uncle. These are my people. These are our friends. It is a family thing. It's not a do or die. Okay? There's something I told somebody. I told a journalist. You know what I told the journalist I want to tell you today? Nobody is expecting anything from me. Okay? If I win, they will be surprised. If I do not win, they will not be surprised. It is still congratulations. If I go out here, I came back with only 100 votes. It is still congratulations. If I get 1,000 votes, it is still congratulations. If I win, it is still wow, congratulations. So that's why I told you it is a win-win for me. Either way, I'm winning. Okay? But I maintain good relationship with anybody on this race. I maintain a perfect relationship with anybody on this race. Just that for personal reasons, I have distanced myself from anybody running in Africa.
Okay.
Okay, for personal reasons. Outside that, other people in the Nnewi here, they are my senior brothers. I'm the youngest of them all. I maintain good relationship with them, and we are there. And we get there.
All right. Thank you so much. It's been an awesome time with you on this TV. This is Elombah TV, and we've had a wonderful session with Nan. You want to add something?
Yes, I want to ask a question to Elombah television guest today, Sir Ikedoji.
Yeah.
My question is, Anambra now has a sitting governor in the person of Governor Willie Obiano.
Yeah.
And do you think that the governor has been able to meet the expectations of Anambrarians, or do you think that the governor has met your expectations in office? He's now 6 years. And if you think that he has not met your expectations, what areas do you think he has failed as a governor? And what areas do you think he should have made improvements? And if you succeed him, what are some of his policies that you intend to correct, to build upon, or improve?
Okay. Expectancy when Governor Obiano assumed power, there was something I thought he would have done swiftly. What was that? There was a plan in this state called ANITS, okay? Anambra Integrated Development, okay? Ongoing is a system. I was expecting him to key into that program and sustain it as a sustainable development plan going on in the state. Now, when he didn't key in, I was expecting him to draw his own plan, okay? And say, okay, that while in office, I intend to hit this, okay? That at the end of the day, I intend to achieve this, achieve that, and achieve that. And this is how I want to go about it. He didn't give a clear blueprint. Not until last year that Soludo came up to draw 50 years plan for the state. That means if Soludo is just drawing plan, that means that there have not been an existing plan that we are working with. Now, if he's not working with an existing plan, I cannot be able to assess him, because I should assess him based on the plan he has. Now, since he has no plan, I cannot assess him. Then how do I assess him? I can only look at the particular things he is doing to say, okay, this is how the governor is running the state. And I must tell you that the method, for whatever intent and purposes, the method he has deployed to run Anambra has only succeeded in running Anambra down. And one of the evidences pointing at that is that you inherited a debt-free state, and today we are having a debt tone allegedly of over 200 billion naira. Okay, something must be wrong in the method. Something must be wrong in the method to have culminated to that. That notwithstanding, I think the governor did not go past the idea of governance beyond. I see him trying to fix an airport, and then you are fixing an airport with 15 billion naira. Okay? And what you need in an airport is runway, landing machines, and one or two other things. Okay? At each time, I see him trying to do something with over bloated projects, bloated costs, not direct. The governor has felt he might be a good man, but he has felt to be directly involved in governance. He doesn't supervise directly. So I think he succeeded in running what looks like Buhari Idiabo regime, where Idiabo is in charge. It appears some people are in charge running the state because he doesn't do a conscious supervision. I'm from a Dodge, okay? There is a road P2B started in a Dodge. P2B's administration ended it somewhere. Till today, they said that they are re-evaluating to come and complete the road. And it's a major ring road. Since P2B's administration, till date, nobody has come back to pay attention to that road. When it's time for campaign, he comes there and starts grading it. Well, one of the things is that I am the type that own up to responsibility. I am one of those that can vouch that Obiano must return for second term. But one of the things I was looking up to and canvassing for his second tenure is for him to complete his 4 years, and then it comes down here. Okay? But one of the things we didn't see, and I've seen that others didn't see it, is that at the time we were doing that, we didn't know that the state has gone so bad in economics, okay? In management issue. We didn't know the state has gone so bad in management issue. So now, the only appraise that I can give to Obiano, to be fair to him, is that he has also tried his best in what would I call empowering individual families, because he has a lot of aids, the SCA and the SSA, 1,000 and something. In one way or the other, all these people are being paid salary. But maybe if you bring an expert, the expert may be able to say that this is a waste. But speaking from a consumer perspective, it is also a good one. But what Obiano has failed to do, he has failed to work with Anambra. He decided to work with a clique. He didn't realize he's the governor of the state, that he should work with everybody. Okay? And that is one of the things we must correct, that when you become a governor of the state, you should be able to work efficiently with everybody in the state to avoid unnecessary distortions coming in from here, or distractions coming in from the governor is working with a lot of distractions. The governor, in his second tenure, he is working with a lot of distractions, and he seems to pay more attention to those distractions than governance. Okay? He pays more attention to those distractions. He didn't see them as political distractions, because if he sees them as political distractions, let me be more pragmatic. Okay? A traditional ruler has no constitutional function in the state. A traditional ruler has no. You have your House of Rep, you have your State House of Assembly members, you have your local government chairman, if you have any, if you have decided to do local government election, which you didn't do. But you have your State House of Assembly members, and then you have the governor there. The traditional rulers, even by creation, are supposed to be reporting to the local government chairman. They are not policy makers in the states. So why do you go and pay so much attention trying to amper on something that is absolutely unnecessary, or making a point? Okay, look at this spending method. Okay, we are sharing cars to traditional rulers during pandemic. All these traditional rulers, where there is no traditional ruler, you will go to his community, you will not see someone that will be able to buy him car, and all of them own cars, more good cars. Okay, so he is not focused. He is trying to, I don't know, maybe because he didn't grow in the system. He's not like us. We grew in the system. Okay, he just came in. He didn't grow in the system. He tried to be driven by distraction more. Okay, imagine a governor having time for a PRO of a community like me now. He having time for me. It's distraction. There are things you must learn to ignore as a governor. I know that those things are political distraction. Everybody must not agree with you. And those that do not agree with you, the best tool is not to intimidate them or to use the state resources to go after them. You focus on governance, the people will deal with you. You go and learn that from Ndige. Ndige was to be distracted by the godfathers. He focused on governance, the people rallied around him. I'm not saying that he was a very good governor, but I'm just giving an example of working during distraction. So Obiano have succeeded to run a government where he is distracted. Maybe if he wasn't distracted, he would have done better. He is distracted to the extent that he is still even conscious of the person that made him a governor, P2B. That distraction is there. He's struggling with P2B. He's struggling with this person. He's struggling with this person. And that is supposed to be our governor. So when we have time for us? So the governor must minimize distraction. Maybe if he minimizes distraction, then the resources invested on distractions will be used to do better things. Okay? Today we are building, what is it called? The progressive are building health sectors, about 3 or 4. The governor is so interested in that project that it is distracting him. He doesn't want to look at the teleological end. The teleological end of that project, either way you look at it, it is a health facility. It is going to benefit the people. It is going to benefit the people of your state. And you are not investing a dime in it. The only business you have is to encourage those that are doing it, whatever is their intention. You don't need to go and start digging to know, okay, what is the motive behind it. No, you should be a futuristic person Okay? When they bring out the motive behind it, look for an antidote and dilute it. But when you swing with the current, you get distracted, try to do propaganda, you budget 1 billion naira to go and do orientation center, orientation camp, isolation center, all those things. Those things are distractions. Obiano has always worked with distraction. He's always been distracted. And he is not supposed to be distracted. If he is distracted, it's because he's concentrating on unnecessary detail other than governance.
Wow.
Thank you. One more question, please, before
okay.
you. Okay. My question again is: do you believe?
Hello? I can't hear you.
Okay. My question is: do you think that the Anambra governorship post should be zoned to a particular zone? Because when P2B was governor, P2B made it a point that the governorship post would be zoned to Anambra North, and it was that zoning that threw up Obiano, and Obiano became the governor. Now there is the controversy that it is the turn of Anambra South to produce the governor. But I hear we are learning that some political parties are not interested in zoning. It was an ABGA policy. So do you think that the Anambra governorship post should be zoned to a particular zone, particularly to Anambra South?
Well, if you watch, I don't discuss zoning naturally. Do you know why I don't discuss it? I'm a philosopher. I don't discuss what do not exist. That P2B, out of his ingenuity, decided to say that that power should go to the north. P2B is not in position to make laws for the states. So there is not any existing law in Anambra State that says that power should go to north at that point. It was the governor that felt he wants to hand over to those in north. And then maybe because he did well, people decided to vote for continuity, not necessarily from somebody from the north. Okay? Zoning breeds mediocrity. We must take it down. Okay? And anybody that is an advocate of zoning is not democratic. The person is not democratic at all. Okay? Because the constitution is there for us. The laws are there for us.
What if the zoning principle encourages the principle of equity and natural justice? For zoning, doesn't zoning satisfy our yearning for equity and natural justice? What do you think?
Well, you know, we need to, when we bring out certain concepts in philosophy, we need to internalize them. Okay? It's the question of what is equity and when are we being equitable? Okay? What do equity really means? Okay? Equity, if equity means giving people their due, okay? Giving people their due. What is due to the people is the dividends of democracy, not an individual, not a zone. Okay?
Right, thank you.
Before we go, please, we have one hand raised here. Please, hello team, can you please unmute yourself and ask your question?
Yes, but then I will not ask you about who is bankrolling you like you said, because I don't want a slap at the back of my head. Someone did it and they didn't all go down well with that person. So I'll be more interested in people say that you are coming out of bitterness. Please read my lips, bitterness.
Okay.
They said that it's because you are coming out because to cause trouble, so to say. They said somehow.
We can't hear you.
I can hear him. I'm
okay,
trying to hear him.
Okay.
But you need to work on your audio, make it higher.
Oh, actually, I didn't have problem with my audio.
Go on, please.
Okay. So some people say that you are only trying to come out of bitterness to cause trouble, because I know some time ago you were involved in some unpleasant fracas with the Anambra State government, specifically the Commissioner for Information, and also that an honorable member of the Anambra House of Assembly who comes from the royal family is also having issues with you, and that considering a little other dissatisfactions, that you decided to just come into and join the fray to cause trouble for those who might be coming out from Nnewi to vie for the seats. Please, is that correct?
Okay. The issue of my problem with Anambra State government, Sidon Adenova precisely, it cannot serve as a springboard for anybody in a normal society that, okay, the state is fighting you and therefore you want to run for governor to cause problem for everybody. I think it does not really serve as a springboard. The issue there is that Sidon Adenova, in most unpleasant manner, left his office to go and attack somebody, a senator, Senator Dr. Patrick Ifeanyiwa precisely, who is doing a good work. And it is natural with me, it's not peculiar to Ifeanyiwa, it is natural with me that if you attack any Nnewi son that I perceive to be doing something good, I will come for you. I had the case with Dozy Oil, I had the case is numerous. What's that name? Onwelo versus Ibeto. I have been there writing. So, but when they took their own down and they came for me politically, because they took it down and then it was an ABGA PDP thing, they came for me politically because so far I'm concerned, even that thing they are doing, I just kept quiet because I don't want to be distracted by them. They are the ones trying to distract me because before the inception of that crisis, I already have intention to run for the governorship. Okay, and even in my study room, I will have shown you the first template. You will see that you see some old book. Okay, as of January this year, I have already started strategizing that I will run for the governor of Anambra State. Okay?
Wow.
So when they came, it was the other way around. They were the ones that came to distract me with their petty politics. So at the end of the day, because I felt what they were doing is so humorous and flippant, and it cannot distract me, I decided to be doing what I'm doing, reserving what I will do with what they did, because of course they were not able to do anything. Okay, so far the constitution of Nnewi town is concerned, I'm still the PR of the town, and they don't have power to remove me. But I don't want to drag petty things with anybody. Okay, I believe in striking at the appropriate time. What is time for now? It is time for campaigning, and I believe that of all the people coming out, I'm one of the most qualified. So it is going to be unfair for you to say that I am coming out to distract them, as if I'm least qualified. If I'm one of the most qualified of them, then it cannot possibly be that I'm coming out to distract them. Then if I'm capable of distracting them, then it's enough reason for them to give way for me and come and support me. So that that means I'm capable of distracting them. Okay? If I'm not capable of distracting them, then they should ignore me and stop seeing me as a distraction. Then if I'm a distraction to them, it is a credit. That means that all of them should come and queue behind me and be clapping for me. Because it's not easy to distract them. Really? It's not anybody that can come out and be capable of distracting them. It is only one who is capable of running the state that can run them under distraction. It's because I'm capable of running Anambra. That is why they are being distracted. Okay? But at the end of the day, it still boils down to what I'm saying. Petty details.
Okay.
Petty details.
Okay.
Petty details.
Thank
we
you.
Are always being
Thank
petty,
you so much.
Petty. A young man came out from your town. Instead of you to look at him as somebody that you should come and support, you are looking at him as a distraction. Distraction from what?
All right. See, there's a comment you did make here.
From government
please, our time is running out. Our time is running out. Our time is running out.
The erosion credited to this government. I have started raising funds. I have started raising funds to work the erosion before they came and started working it. That is governance. That is administration. If as a PR of a town, I can start raising funds to work erosion and people will be contributing. Then when I become the governor, there will not be erosion in Anambra State. So it's not about Nnewi. Governing Anambra is beyond Nnewi. I saw beyond their sentiment. I saw beyond their pettiness. I saw beyond their, what we call idol of the theater. Conventional, being trapped in conventional system of thought. You be doing the same thing. Then you be asking, what did this person say? What did the other person say before you act? No, I'm a rational being. I react and then listen to what you say later.
Okay.
So I'm just acting and being me. I have not started reacting to Sidon Adenova. If I start reacting to him, or I start reacting to Nzuko or Nnewi, or I start reacting to the Petrotratos, okay, what makes you think if I wanted to react to them, they convened that meeting during COVID-19, and the law said you should not be more than 30, and I snapped all of them, there were 48 in the meeting. I will have written NCDC, they will bundle everybody if I wanted to react. But it's because I don't want to react, I'm acting. I say, oh, these people want to distract me. I push them behind, and then they are looking at me from behind, and then I'm focused looking at the seat of Anambra State to be the #1 citizen. Okay, they are the ones trying to distract me, but I didn't even notice them. So they noticed me, and they are getting distracted.
Thank you so much. It's been an awesome explanation there. I really would have loved. Yes, we can hear you still. I really would have loved to continue, but it's unfortunate we've got no time left. So I'd like to say thank you so much for being here, for coming around. Thank you, Elo team, for your questions. And to everyone who's viewing on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, we appreciate you. This is Elombah TV. You can follow us on Facebook, on Instagram. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube to get information as it drops. Remember, Elombah TV is here to give voice to the voiceless and, of course, project the globe in Nigeria's perspective. So our guest today has been Sir Austin Ike, and he's been wonderful. Thank you so much, sir, for coming around. Thank you so much, and to have yourself a pleasant day. Thank you so much, everyone. And from me to you, Lydia Oduada, I'd like to say, have yourself a great day. Bye now till we come your way again.